What's up, everyone? We're here live and direct. First episode of Breaking Business. We're here with one of my special guests right now, Zeku in the building. What up?
I'm the co-host, bro. What you talking about?
All right, you're the co-host. I'll be the main host. You know what it is. Your boy Dre.
We're here, Breaking Business. So let's get right down to it. So like we were talking right before the cameras came on, the reason and the idea behind Breaking Business was this. It stems from breaking bread, you know. So breaking bread, you know, you sit down and you eat and you talk, and there's no filters to it. You know, you're being very real. You're being very open with everybody that you're sitting down and eating with, and it's a very special time. And you know, you've been a mentor to me in my career, and you've always mentored me, and we've always broke business together and broke
True.
life, and you know, we've always had our talks and motivated each other. So that's why I felt it was perfect for us to do something like this together, so where we could sit down and break business on camera and empty out, and not just keep it where it's just fully breaking, but where we can expand to any other field. You know a lot of powerful people with a big influence. I know a lot of powerful people with a big influence, and putting those connections together, we can create a platform for people to come and gravitate towards whenever they're feeling down, or whenever they feel like their careers are working out for them, and they can come over here and pick up a little bit of motivation, inspiration, or whatever the case may be.
Sounds good. I like the word breaking, because you breaking down.
Yeah, exactly.
Business.
Yeah, but we're taking out the G, like breaking, like
Love
breaking,
it.
breaking.
Love it. So, how you doing, man? How you living? Like, tell me how you feeling right now. What's going on in your life right now?
I'm good, man. You know, everything has its ups and its downs, his business. So, you know, you have a wave of everything kind of, you know, you're like, oh, this is going great. This is awesome. Being an entrepreneur is one of the best decisions I ever made. And then, you know, you have those down points where you're like, damn, I don't know if this is the best decision I made, or I should continue with it. But just like anything that you create, it's going to have its ups and its downs until you figure it out and kind of adjust and assimilate to the situation. So it's going good, man. I'm blessed to be living the life that I'm living.
I see you have a strong, solid team with you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Surge in Miami.
Yeah. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Yanel. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to Static. Shout out to everybody that's involved. Shout out to Fusion. You know, shout out to everybody that's involved.
Nice. So I have these two things in my mind right now to get out of my heart. Tell me how. I saw a clip of you that you were in the BIS. What does that stand for? What happened in that? Like, tell me your journey. What's going on?
So BIS stands for B-Boy in Shanghai. If I'm not wrong, I think it's B-Boy in Shanghai or Battle in Shanghai, one of the two.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a crazy story because, you know, I got called to be a part of that competition probably 2 weeks out from the actual competition. And it was very last minute. I was about to go to sleep. I jumped on a phone call with a really close friend of mine, B-Boy Pocket. He's a world-renowned champion. And I told him, I was like, man, I really want to go to China. I really want to expand my career internationally. And his words exact were, you want to go to China? Okay. Hangs up the phone, calls me back in 5 minutes. He goes, you go China. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you're going to go to China. He's like, I have somebody who's going to contact you. Just be patient. The next day, man, I got contacted by Danny, MZK. He runs the whole production with Skechers and a couple other minor sponsors. And it's a competition for $20,000 US. All right. So you already know that the best of the best are going to be there. Within that lineup, there was about four to five sponsored athletes. There was an Olympian, a gold Olympian champion.
Saw that.
And there's just the best of the best. Champions breaking is beautiful because there's a champion every weekend, you know? The opportunity is there for that to be able to happen. And then, you know, here comes Zeku, you know, nationally very known, known internationally, but
local. Yeah,
but more from an inspirational standpoint, not from a competitive standpoint. And, you know, I was the last draw for sure. And the reason why that competition was so special was because, man, I had $20 in my pocket.
Yeah, tell me about that story.
I had $20, dude. I had $20, and I needed to get a passport because my passport had expired. I didn't have a Chinese visa. I didn't have nothing because I'm the type of person that when I have a certain amount of money, you know, money that's not moving is not growing. So whenever I get money, I put it into something, you know, so it can invest and double. And you know, you might lose some, you might gain some.
Breaking business.
Yeah, so I was at a point where I had put up a lot of money and I didn't have any money. So I actually had to borrow, I think like $400 to get my visa. I had to borrow another $300 to get my passport. And I had to borrow $100 to just go on the trip. Mind you, this is, you know, life or death. Like, if you don't win, like, the next day you're probably not going to eat, you know? And I'm the type of person that doesn't, I don't preach that, but sometimes it happens, and that's part of business. That's part of life. You got to take the risk. You know, you got to take the risk or lose the chance. Like, you know, these posters were strategically hand-picked because these are things that we go through. You know, and man, I get to China and I'm really focused. You know, I'm not the type of person to go sightseeing and none of that stuff when it comes to something like that. I'm very focused on what I'm doing, and the build-up was insane because it's life or death. Like, yo, either I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna make this money and be able to pay these people back, or I'm gonna win 20,000 and, you know, set my family up, get my mom a house, pay everybody back, and continue to reinvest. You know, so man, long story short, days just kept counting down. We finally get to a day where, you know, it's gonna go down. We're gonna battle. And, you know, everybody's like, Zeku's not going to win this. You know, and he doesn't go international. He's probably going to get nervous or whatever the case may be. But people don't understand, like, this is what I do. Like, I live and breathe battling, not just breaking, just battling on its own. Like, that's where I breathe. That's where I'm most comfortable.
I've known you for a long time, and I think you do better under pressure.
Yeah.
You're like a, you know, like a stone. Like you get, like, put gold, you get refined by fire. Like, you're someone that if you put yourself in the fire, like you come out like shining more.
Yeah, diamond. It's like a diamond. Yeah. No pressure, no diamond. So, yeah, man, the day finally came, and, you know, we're getting ready. You know, you're with all the competitors. This is another thing that I'm not cool with. Promoters need to understand that, at least from me, I don't know everybody else, but, like, dude, I'm about to battle y'all. Like, I don't like y'all right now. Like, at this moment, y'all not my friends. I don't like y'all. I don't want to be in the same bus as you. Like, I don't want to do that. So, you know, you're there with everybody, and you're all in the same bus, and you go to the venue, and sometimes you're even sitting down with the judges. And we get there, we test out the floor, everything's going good. And, man, from the moment I stood on that stage, I just kept thinking, man, I'm going to buy my mom a house. Like, nice. For sure. Like, this is nobody's going to take this away from me unless they're willing to dig real, real deep. You know, and, like, months prior, my mom, you know, this is more personal, but, man, my mom was, like, crying to me. You know, things at home got really, really tough. My brother, you know, we didn't know what to do. You know, we don't live in the best situation. You know, everything's picture perfect on Instagram, but nobody really knows what happens behind closed doors. So, you know, seeing your mom cry isn't the best thing for motivation when you're trying to be happy. You know, you're trying to find that happy place, you know, and at least for my mom is my stone. Like, that's my backbone. You know, without her, I wouldn't be nobody. You know, she would cry to me, and she didn't know what to do. My mom struggled all her life to be able to provide for us. So it's hard, man. It hit me, and God put me in a position to be able to change that, you know. And, yeah, man.
And you did win.
Long story short, we ended up winning, man, and we took the $20,000 cash home, man.
Congrats.
So my mom is definitely getting a house. We're already looking into it.
Oof.
And, yeah, man, she's going to get it. She got blessed. We got blessed. I got blessed, you know.
Nice.
So
now, speaking of winning, you went up against probably one of the best B-boys in the world right now.
One of the best to ever do it.
One of the best. Yeah. Shout out to B-boy Victor. Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of him, like, I've seen you growing up since you were a kid. I've been around you. I know that he's one of your inspirations. And when I saw it, it felt so heartwarming to see that, man, you're battling your inspiration. Elaborate on that. Like, how did you feel being on stage with your inspiration and it also being the final battle? Like, how did that make you feel? Did it ignite a fire in you again? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I look up to Florida in general. You know, the Florida style is very unique. It's
Florida.
Yeah, it's a style that can be replicated but never duplicated ever, you know. So I was blessed enough to be born within the same culture as all these greats, you know, and including Vic as one of them. What a lot of people don't know, you know, like, when I was a kid, like, he was the one taking over, and that was the person who I would look up to because he was the one really doing it. You know,
Yeah.
there were people who were faking it, but like he was really doing it. He was young. He was like 18, 19, taking all these competitions by storm. He's a young kid getting it, and that's just what I looked up to even before breaking. Like I used to look at the young dudes where I lived at who were getting it, and he was doing that, so that's what I gravitated towards. And yeah, man, like I said, I made a post about it, and it was awesome because we're both sponsored by different brands, competitive brands, as a matter of fact. And somebody caught a perfect picture of us like embracing each other with both our logos covered.
Respect.
You know, so the picture was perfect to post because
No logos.
Yeah, I forgot what the caption was, but I said no logos, no brands, just two champions sharing a crown, or something like that.
That was it.
It was something along those lines, and that's truly what it is. You know, at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. It's purely business. You know,
Business.
it really is. No, it really is. You know, we're not talking about a $20 competition. Yeah, $20,000. That's life changing.
Yeah.
So, big respect to Victor and everything that he's got going on and everything that he's done. As a matter of fact, he just won 20K in Budapest. There was a competition and he won 20K. So what I'm saying, like, you could lose 20K one weekend and next weekend win 20K. That's literally what happened.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. So big shout out to him, man. He racked up as well. So to me, I would say we're the two best b-boys in the U.S. Like, in the U.S., we are the top two. Nobody is nowhere near close to what we're doing right now. Currently, we are the best.
And representing Florida
And representing Florida, exactly. You know, there is people before us. So,
Yes.
you know, I don't want people to take that the wrong way. Currently, right now, it's me and him. And I'm not going to say that he's first or I'm second or I'm first and he's second. We're both number one. Like, we are both
Yeah, you said
the
it best. Like, you're sharing a crown.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Nice.
But at the same time, in togetherness, representing the same state, the same mindset.
Scene.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, I'm wearing one of your shirts right now. The Zeku Latin Tour.
Looks good on you, bro. Where'd you get it?
From you. Now, talk to me about this. What's the story behind it? What inspired you to do this?
Mhm.
And behind the shirt, it shows the continent of South America and Central America.
Mhm.
Like, why did you choose out of all the world? Like, why did you choose that continent? Like, why?
Yeah. So I come from Cuban origin. So my parents are both Cuban. And the reason, well, the purpose behind it, it's a free tour. So I don't make any money off of this tour. The goal is to hit all 20 countries, you know. So I put it on the shirt to basically say, like, I have to do it now, you know. I have to do it. Not all 20 countries are confirmed, but a good amount are. I think about 9 to 11 of them are already confirmed. We already did the first stop, which is El Salvador, Battle of the Year, which was amazing talent out there, and the love that we received was amazing. But the reason why it's free is because, you know, my mom actually swam from Cuba to Guantanamo for freedom. My dad left on a raft for freedom, you know. So
Wow.
that just tells you how hard it is. Like, they don't have the same resources or opportunities that we or Europe, or I don't want to speak on other places, but from what you can see, you know, it's not the same opportunity. So Latin America lacks a lot of things, you know, and I think that it's sad that a lot of Latin American artists in general usually go and leave their countries or whatever the case may be to flourish elsewhere, but never come back to build something, you know. That's the issue. You can leave, you know, because I understand the opportunity is not there, but you need to come back, you know. Like, you need to pay respect to where you come from, the struggle. So we're starting it, man. We're leaving this weekend to Colombia. The plan is to hit at least every country twice.
Nice.
2 different cities at least. It's probably going to be a 2-year ongoing tour, and it's an official tour. So that's why we have merch, which was actually designed by you and Fusion. So big ups to y'all. And we're selling it to basically come up with funds to hopefully end off the tour in Cuba, hosting our own event. So Cuba is a little hard to get into. There's a dictatorship, you know. It's tough over there. So I want to be able to fund the whole thing because nobody can get in there and actually sponsor it. From what I know, I might be wrong. So I want to have the funds to put up the actual event for everybody and make it something real special for the community there and give back to where my family comes from. I wasn't born there, but it's a piece of me. It's a part of me. It's in my bloodline.
Yeah.
So I want to go over there and basically just show love, you know?
Yeah. coming from a Latin background, that's your heritage, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds dope, man. Like I saw the inspiration comes from Metallica,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Latin tour, obviously, because you're Latin,
Yeah,
and you know,
Yeah.
dope.
yeah.
Anything else you want to get out of your chest? This is our first episode. You know, we're trying to get like loose up in here.
We did it though. We did.
We
So,
did it. We came
and,
up.
and I forgot to mention because I got too into the purpose of the tour. What we're going to do to actually help out the community. We're giving a free workshop. I'm offering myself as a judge as well, and we're gonna have, most importantly, a business panel. So I'll sit down with the community of that country and basically do what we're doing right now, which is Breakin Business.
Nice.
You get me? So basically provide them with knowledge or tips or inspiration as to how you can monetize breaking, because a lot of people reach 21, 22, 25 the latest, and they're like, all right, I gotta go get a job. Real life kind of kicks in, so they leave it, and it's talent gone to waste. And I believe that there is a lot of money in breaking, excuse me, and not that money is the only thing in this world, but you need to be able to fund what you believe is fun, because if you don't, then you can't do it no more.
True.
So you got to find a way to do it, and what better way to live than funding what's fun and that you love. Like you don't want to break for only 2 hours and then have to go and clock in. Like,
Yeah.
I want to break all day. I want to
real.
break all day, and that's why we have Sir Jim, which is something that we build to be able to teach kids and have a business that's completely vertically integrated. Everything happens here, and we're able to provide a platform for people to learn business, for people to learn breaking, for people to learn how to articulate themselves, for people to just really handle life out of one location, one corporation. So
Sounds dope, bro.
everything kind of ties in together, even the podcast right now we're shooting inside of Sir Jim,
Miami.
Miami. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, everything kind of comes through us.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, ownership. And that's something that I think breakers lack. They sell themselves to everybody, a corporation or to an industry or to an artist. Like, you yourself are an artist. You can do it. It's just take the risk. You might lose some, you might win some, and it's just a constant battle.
Love it. Wrapping up this episode, we have Breaking Business. We'll continue our next episode. Basically, we're going to keep tying it to people who have a real story to tell, the struggle behind the scenes that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
So, thank you for being the first.
Thank you, bro.
And this concludes it.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
Mi felicidad ver a mis hijos crecer y haciendo lo que hago poderlo mantener. Muchos hablan mierda de mí sin saber el sacrificio que hago todos los días.